Back to another episode of the Baseline Bums podcast. It's your
Yeah.
host, Rob, aka B-Ball Archives. And once again, I got the bum AJ up in the casa after a Spurs victory against the Toronto Raptors. My friend, how are you feeling after a victorious evening such as this?
Wow. I was prepared to come in here after the third quarter and go, well, it was a good run. Had a great time. But my God, what a great game we just witnessed. What a great come from behind victory. What a unique situation, too. I mean, Dylan Harper closing out games. That was something I did not expect to see tonight. But here we are. Just kind of goes back to our depth. But man, I mean, what a win. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty at all. It was an ugly win, but a win's a win. So I'm to the moon. I'm more excited about this one than I am about the last one.
Absolutely. Yeah. This was a game that easily could have gotten away from us. Yeah, you brought up that third quarter, and whenever they went on that 12-0 run in the third quarter, I was like, "Oh no, this seems like this could balloon into something much larger."
Yep.
But as soon as we responded the way we did in the fourth and just really
Oh yeah.
making an effort to create easy opportunities, collapsing the defense, going to the free throw line,
Big one. Yep.
which was a problem for both Toronto and for us because we couldn't hit free throws for large stretches of the game, even though
Right.
we were getting them in foul trouble. So
Right.
it was good, but it just wasn't as advantageous as it could have been
Right.
when you look at De'Aaron Fox going 2 for 8 from the line, multiple clutch free throws that needed to be hit. It left the game closer than it needed to be,
For
but at the
sure.
same time, I love our effort in the fourth.
I mean, the reason we missed those free throws at the end of the game is because our guys were just so gassed. I mean, they were just fighting so hard on defense and on offense. I mean, the the what's crazy about our team, because what I start to think about is like the early 2000 Lakers, the Warriors, where they like kind of just kept within striking distance, and then when they needed to strike, they were able to do so in flurries. And that's exactly what we did tonight. And because we have an anchor like Wemby on defense, I mean, he's so electric and he's so competitive. I'm chalking this up to Wemby just getting in the huddle and being like, we're not losing this damn game, guys. We didn't come this far to go 9. We're going to go 10. And I really believe that he's so contagious that it rubs off on everyone. And shout out to Steph Castle for being selfless and going, Dylan Harper, you got it. You're here.
Yeah. I mean, I think Dylan Harper, I think a lot of his influence on the game was the first half. I think all of his points were in the first half, and a lot of the offense that he was generating that was in the first half as well. But I agree that there was key moments where he was on ball creating for others late in the game. But ultimately, I think one of the places we have to start is another heater game from Devin Vassell. Like,
God.
this is for large stretches of the game when our offense looked pretty stagnant
Oh
and we
yeah.
were we were watching Emmanuel quickly and Brandon Ingram get to their spots. It was Devin Vassell
Mm-hmm.
consistently shooting and once again having another heater performance. 12
Yep.
threes over the last 2 games for Devin. That is elite shooting, elite floor spacing. And I think so much of our offensive success tonight ran through Devin just
Yeah.
being able to hit good open in rhythm threes.
5 for 6. Like, you can't ask for any better than that. And then again, like Julian Champagne hit 3 3-pointers. But that also happened during the stretch at the beginning of the fourth quarter where we were able to make a stop, come back, hit a 3-pointer, make a stop, come back, hit a 3-pointer, get a dunk, get an easy bucket. And then like just the absolute hustle plays that we were making, the hustle plays that we were making were so just refreshing to see because like we're at the end of coming to the end of February and these guys are playing super hard. Like what happens when we ramp it up even more? And now that I guess we're kind of figuring out how the East plays, very physical basketball. I think now moving forward, we're going to have to be prepared to, take those punches and kind of rope a dope those Eastern Conference teams and hit back when we need to. And once again, just in winning time, we hit back and we didn't look back. And it was beautiful to see down by 12 and to win the game by 3. I mean, hell of a win. Hell of a win.
Absolutely. Just such a great fight from the guys. And I like that you brought up the physicality tonight because so much of their defense is built around Scotty Barnes and what he does defensively. And he is one of the strongest, most
Yeah,
physical, most complete defenders in the whole league. And I think that. If Wemby ends up missing a handful of games and he's not award eligible, I think that Scotty Barnes is going to be
sure.
one of those guys that gets thrown into the depoy conversation only because Wemby's not there. Uh,
Yeah, which is we're gonna have to talk about that. Like maybe make it a rule like if you still lead the league in blocks, you qualify because once again, we'll be making some crazy blocks. And that really was a catapult for our offense on especially in that fourth quarter. Like it's so crazy that we have dumbasses like Gilbert Arenas talking about all kinds of crazy nonsense, how we don't have a number one option and we don't have a consistent person, blah, 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 blah. And it's like we have 5 guys, 6, we have I think 8 guys right now averaging 10 points or something like that. And it's just it doesn't need to be on the offensive side. On the defensive side, you're not going to be able to do anything against us. Perimeter defense is locked down. Our down low offense or defense is locked down. Wimby looks great. He can defend anybody on the court. And if we're having our guards pick you up 90 feet, good luck. Like you're going to be in for a long, long game. And we're seeing it in the fourth quarter with these past 2 games. What happens? And our conditioning is really, really strong too. So shout out to our conditioning.
Absolutely. Yeah. Our guys have been working so hard to be ready at this point in the season, even though there was periods of the game where I thought Wemby looked a little gassed,
Yeah.
where I thought he was setting screens and he was leaning over a little bit. He was a little bit slower getting back, and I thought I felt that fatigue in his jumper a little bit late in the game. And not it's not a huge critique, but because I still felt like so much of his defense was the anchor tonight, including that
Yeah.
really important late game block, which was, I think, the punctuation mark on the game itself because they had the opportunity in the paint. I believe it was Jakob Pertl could have finished late in game,
Yeah.
but
And he
then
just snatched it.
yeah,
Just
and that's what Wemby's been doing now more so than anything. Not only blocking it, but blocking it, saving the possession with a smart rebound so that we can go on the other end and create something ourselves. And I think that's the mark of a player who's not only impacting the game large amounts defensively, but finding ways to even get better.
dude, that's the difference between a shot blocker and an actual defensive anchor is being able to block that shot and keep it in bounds so your team can go the other way. So, I mean, I wish Wimby played a little better, but when we needed him the most, he hit that corner 3, that fadeaway, and it went in. But in the first half, man, he was getting pissed. He finally chirped back at the refs because it's like he could only get held so many times, and like obviously Jakob Pertl was starting to having nice little memory berries about our time with him. And it's like, oh yeah, I forgot. He's a very physical, but very finesse. He knows where he's never going to be in the wrong spot. So that's just something we had to deal with. And at, at one point in the first half, he was just like, hey, ref, like he's grabbing me. Like what, I don't know what to do. Like he's been on the floor so much. It's like, you're going to have to start calling something. Like you can't just not call these fouls.
Right. Yeah, he's being hindered in a way that the ref can't ignore it. And I think that there's some nights where Wemby's initiating so much offense where the ref can't ignore it. He's going to the line a bunch of times, but that wasn't tonight. I felt like Wemby wasn't as aggressive as usual. You see half of his attempts are three-pointers, and
Yeah.
going back to previous games where you just see inflated amounts of him relying on mid-range and three-point shots. That's not the Wemby that we know to be very successful because just looking back on it, there was only 4 shots with inside of 6 feet from Wemby this game, and that's not necessarily a recipe for success. But at the end of the day, he still leads us in plus minus because of his ability to affect the game defensively. So
Yeah,
I
he's
think,
just an impact player, man. He's an
yeah,
impact player. He should be MVP literally just for his defense. Like that's how much of a contributor he is. And I mean, it all starts and ends with Wimby. Like there isn't a play where you can't account for him in some capacity. Like whether it's on offense or defense or wherever, you can't just not go, okay, we'll just leave Wimby in the corner. Like you can't do that with a guy like him. So he is affecting it. And if we didn't have him, I don't think this team would be where it's at today.
well, of
So,
course, of course.
so,
That's
but it's just really refreshing to see like Luke Cornett come in at the end of the game and be impactful as well, because that's how we close out the game with our French connection
yeah.
lineup.
Yeah, I do like the minutes that Luke Cornett gave us, but I also have to, just based on what I'm seeing, he does look a tiny bit slowed by that knee issue. There was a
Yeah,
couple of moments where his rotation was a bit slow. He was a step little bit late getting to that floater, and I'm like, okay, it's not bad because he's still by far and away our second best rim protector and can still go out there and play a decent 21 minutes like he did tonight. It's just, I feel like I'm less confident in a Luke Cornett that looks like this if Wemby was to sit a game or something like that.
yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if we sat a handful of guys tomorrow. Just being on a back to back against Brooklyn, it wouldn't surprise me if we maybe or we very limit minutes for Wimby and some other of the guys. But I don't see us really. Tomorrow's going to be a tough game because we played so hard tonight, and just being on a back to back with travel and all that stuff with the legs that we currently have. We'll see. We'll see.
Absolutely. Got to shout out this comment from JTV. Team record when shooting 40% from three. Spurs are 18-0 on the season. That is a
Wow,
nice stat,
that's a
JTV.
great
Good.
stat.
Yeah, good call, my friend. But
That is
also,
insane.
I gotta highlight this comment from Wiz.
Oh
Who's
yeah.
that baby face devil? Referring to AJ Smooth Face, but as well, it's Go Spurs Go over here. But yeah, we got a few other things I gotta dive into because I think that we glazed Dylan Harper a little bit, but he was the way we started this game. And
Yeah.
so much of what made him a success tonight was he just knifed his way through the paint. And the fact that this this 19-year-old rookie can take an entire NBA half and not only lead it in scoring, but just completely dictate the pace. It's truly remarkable. Are are you are you viewing us as legitimate contenders even up against the OKCs of the world?
Yeah, I don't know how you can't say that at this point in time. We're on a W10. We're winning in different ways every night, whether it's one person here, one person there, defense here, block shot there. Like we're doing all these really cool things as we're winning games. And once again, we won a game, and Wimby didn't really have a great game. Like offensively, he just didn't have a great game. But then you just look at the way that our grit and the way that our makeup is and how we're structured. I mean, I don't think we need to wait 2 or 3 seasons in order to get to where we need to be. I think this might be a really strong year for us to make a run. And one thing that we all know is like, hey, you're gonna have to have, these, great strong plays and whatnot. Like you go through these tests during the season, like tonight, and you can point to go, guys, remember when we were down by 12 going into the fourth quarter in Toronto? Just go out and execute. We can do this.
Right. And so much of the playoff grit and grind, you need to lose in the playoffs to kind of learn your footing, but I also don't feel like the playoff atmosphere is ready for Wemby.
Right.
And I was listening to one of my favorite shows. Shout out to Nerd Sesh. They were talking about essentially this very similar thing that, like, Wemby is going to step into the playoffs and be the most talented defender that has ever played in playoff
Right.
basketball. And so
Right.
I don't think that we're necessarily ready to we're not ready for the level of impact he is going to create on that level because of how not only how skilled and how dominant he is, but how competitive he is.
Right.
All of that gets turned
Oh,
up a
dude,
notch. And
100%. And then
yes,
if they slow down the game, that's only good for Wimby. If he can actually get set and go, okay, I have this is what I'm looking at. I need someone over here. I need to get over here. And then all of a sudden, like you're just in the right spot at the right time because you're set because the game slowed down. But if you're running up and down in transition, Wimby can't get set. Our defense can't get set. So I mean, I look at this team and just to your point, dude, Wimby's so damn competitive. Like he loves to win, and it's so refreshing to see that he's there for the game and he's not there for the paycheck. And that's what makes me really hopeful and really excited that whenever we need to start paying players, he's okay with restructuring his contract and doing all these incentives and whatever. And what like just he doesn't care. And that's what makes me excited about kind of where we're at as a team. Just a very selfless team. And it is there's no I in team, and I can see it with this Spurs team. So I'm I'm hoping also we do need to talk about this. I'm hoping Keldon's okay. It looked like that shoulder kind of got caught within a screen and got pulled a little bit. We didn't see him come back, so I hope he's okay. But he didn't, he didn't play the second half. So
I thought he came in for a very brief point in time
was
and
it?
then left very
Yeah, was it
but he left very quickly. So
right?
it was very mysterious why he didn't go back in further after that. So I think I'm right there with you. I want to know what's up with that shoulder. It kind of looked like a stinger, but at the end of the
Right.
day, I'm not 100% sure. Hopefully it's just something that's going to have him sitting out next game. I don't necessarily think we need the full roster next game in order to walk away with the win, but at the same time, our guys could be gassed on the second night of a
Super gas.
back-to-back.
Yeah, that Raptors team's not bad, man. And that crowd was good. That was a good crowd for a Wednesday night game in Toronto. So, shout out to the Toronto Raptor fans for showing out tonight and definitely bringing the energy. I mean, the court was badass to begin with. I was like, "Oh, we're in for a treat today." The jerseys were cool. I wish we would have done a throwback jersey. That'd been fun. But regardless, that Raptors team is going to be dangerous in the playoffs. I mean, if we see a Pistons versus Raptors playoff matchup, that's going to be a lot of suspensions ahead of us. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, just so much physical basketball that's gonna lead to so much chippiness. I don't know how we're not gonna see Keldon just shoving somebody every game, you know? It's like it's gonna happen. I mean, when you got the big body, you gotta throw it around a little bit. But I mean, there's one thing I have to mention. Our free throw shooting. We talked about it a little bit
Horrendous.
earlier. Talked about it a little bit earlier, but finishing the game at 13 for 23, 57%. De'Aaron Fox, our primary ball handler for a lot of the time, in clutch situations down the stretch. We need him to be shooting more confident free
Yeah.
throws. And it just really irks me that I feel like it's I don't know if it's mental because also feel it whenever he's kind of whenever he's knifing through the lane a little bit and he's losing the ball. I'm just like, is it a mental lapse a little bit, or is it maybe something still wrong with the hand? So I'm questioning a lot of De'Aaron Fox right now from his free throw performances lately because in
Yeah.
my opinion, free throw, so much of it's
It's
mental.
mental. It's all within 6 inches of your ears, man. So, and also what I've noticed too, I don't know if you've noticed this, but whenever he drives to the lane, instead of like going up for a layup or like going up for something like under, he'll actually like shoot a jump shot from like 6 feet out, like an actual jump shot. Like, when you're playing 2K and you're like, oh, here comes the dunk, and your guy just stops and takes a jumper instead.
You're
Like
like,
that's what it
oops.
looks like sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if he's changing his game to try to fit in more, or if he's just to that point where this is the new De'Aaron Fox and this is what we're gonna have to get used to, kind of thing, and he's gonna come up when we need him to come up. But free throws are free throws. Like you don't you have to make 50 before you can leave the gym? Isn't that the rule or something? Like at this point in their careers, like I feel like you just need to sit there and make 50 in a row before you can go home.
Oh man, if I was Mitch Johnson, it'd be 1,000. I'd be like, we will shoot 1,000 free throws at this practice, and then everyone leaves. But
Yeah.
I mean, you can't do that when players are making tens of millions of dollars. It's just
I mean,
you
you can
can't.
try.
You can try, but just players just don't like the hard coaching anymore. And you
Honestly,
know,
tomorrow is a great day to do that. Like tomorrow, when they do their shoot arounds, guys, we're doing free throws. We're
yeah,
we're gonna spend the majority of our time just on free throws. So at that tomorrow's a great time to do it. Your legs are gonna be a little tired. You're gonna be kind of a little gassed. So let's shoot some free. Tomorrow's a great day to do it, right before a
yeah.
game against Brooklyn, and I'm sure Dylan Harper is gonna have his whole family there. So I'm excited to see kind of Dylan tomorrow and see what he does to show out in his hometown.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, obviously the Brooklyn game tomorrow is the game we're looking forward to next, but I also think I'm mainly looking forward to that Knicks game on
Yeah,
Sunday. I I always am circling the Knicks on our calendar, especially after the
yep,
NBA Cup situation. Um, I feel as if this is a team that we can exploit our mismatches against because
right,
not only do I think that Cat is not a very strong defender and Wembanyama can consistently exploit those mismatches, but Jalen Brunson is one of the worst defending guards in the NBA. And I don't know why Castle and Harper and Fox don't
right.
just slash and collapse that defense and we're not creating easy opportunities for everybody. And um, as long as we can close out and keep them shooting somewhat inefficient shots, I don't see why we don't crush them with the way we're playing right now.
If Jeremy Sohan makes a 3-pointer, I'm going to jump off the top of my house and delete Twitter. I'm not gonna stand here for it because apparently, from what I've seen just online, it seems like he's already kind of been like in and out of New York media. They're like, "Hey, look at that! All right, that's cool, and we're done." So I'm curious to see kind of what happens if he gets any minutes against us. But I would say be ready for a big game by Wimby on a Sunday matinee game of prime time. So let's make it happen. I'm always excited to see that. I'm sure Wimby's going to have a handful of French people that flew in just to watch it. So, hopefully we get a great game and also again another great measuring test. So, I think tomorrow is definitely a game that we need to figure out how we're going to approach it, who's going to be in, who's going to be out, how we feel. But then come Sunday, I think that's a game that everyone gets up for.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's definitely one of the more exciting games coming up. And then 76ers after that, followed by another match against the Pistons, but now we're at home.
At
So
home.
an
Welcome back.
interesting
Welcome back.
Yep. An interesting stretch of games against some relatively tough Eastern Conference opponents.
Yeah,
Um,
it's good to see kind of where we measure up. And one thing that we definitely talked about at the beginning of the season was we need to win a lot of games against the East. Like these are the matchups that we need to get. We need to rack up a bunch of wins when we're in this time. We're playing East teams. Rack up your wins. You only see them twice a year, and then try to figure out where kind of the West shuffles up from there. And then if you're able to make some good waves in the West, which we have been, the sky's the limit right now. And we're right on the tails of the Thunder. They're still hurt. They might drop a game or two if they run up against someone that they don't match up well with. So we still got a chance, man. We still got a chance to end up with the number one seed, but we have a long way to go.
oh, dude, if we were to end up with that number one seed and just really maximize efficiency, I think that if we were to able to maybe match up with the Suns, Warriors, potentially the Trailblazers if they get hot down the stretch, I think that's a cakewalk first round. Like
Yeah,
I
I
I
do
mean,
too.
yeah, that would be. I mean, significantly better than, let's say, the Timberwolves fall a couple games. Now they're in the sixth, and then we end up playing them because we slip to the third, or they slip to the seventh, and we're playing them because we're in the second. And so I think, just getting that first could mean a really easy first round matchup, given how the balance of the West kind of
Yeah.
falls off of a cliff after about that seven.
How do you feel about seeing like the Timberwolves in the playoffs? Because I'm not as scared as I feel like I should be, because I feel like we've seen this play out already a few times in the past few years. And I'm just, they might knock us out, but I don't see us losing a 7 game series to the Timberwolves.
I'm actually not as scared about when we're looking at the Timberwolves, and I kind of agree with you. I've been really, the Timberwolves games I've seen, their non-Gobert minutes on defense look terrible, and it's very similar to what our non-Wemby minutes look
Yeah.
like, but they don't have that core net to back them up.
Right.
They are relying on
Yep.
secondary rim protection from Nas Reed and kind of leftover rim protection from Jaden McDaniels. And they do have a good versatile defense, but I think that they are a step slower on defense than they were last year. And while Anthony Edwards did get a little bit more efficient on offense, I feel like he isn't as good of a playmaker as he was previously. So I feel
He's
like
selling for threes.
I agree, and a lot of them are going in. He's more efficient from
That's the problem.
3, but yeah, he's going to it more, and I feel like also their perimeter defense, now that they don't have Nickeil Alexander-Walker, isn't as
Yep.
good, and so a lot of it is just leading to me not being that scared of them, and I'm not looking at our lack of experience as something that would shoot us in the foot against them. I think that we have the personnel, we have we have the skill offensively and
Right.
defensively to overwhelm them.
And I don't think Rudy Gobert will play very many minutes. I think he might get 10 minutes against us, because the way that we're going to probably run up and down the floor, they're not going to be able to play him. So we'll see. We'll see kind of where it all ends up. But, one thing that I think is pretty crazy, and, one thing that, we're not going to talk too much about this, but Luca, Austin Reeves, and LeBron James cannot play together. Like, they're just not a good trio. Um, when it's the three of them on the court, they just don't play well. And if we see the Lakers and them three are on the floor, I'm gonna feel good about our chances.
Oh yeah, I mean that's Swiss cheese on defense. I mean you have the old
Jackson
feet.
Hayes. Ooh.
Absolutely. You got old feet LeBron. I mean, he's still able to impact things offensively because he can see the game and pass people
Yeah.
open and stuff like that. Of course, he's always going to be able to do that, but you have to be able to move your feet on defense. You got to get back, you have to get vertical, you have to put your weight into people, and he's still very strong, but at the end of the day, you see one possession he'll run back, the next possession he's like, "All right, I'm not running back that
Right.
time." And so, you know,
I'm gonna yell at the refs for 30 seconds, and Luca's gonna yell at the other ref for 30 seconds, and one of us is gonna get technical foul, but it's not gonna be me. So, I look at the playoffs, and wherever they rank, I just like our chances. And if we're doing things like what we did tonight and what we did yesterday, I don't see why we can't make a deep playoff run. And what Wimby's doing is something that, like you said earlier, we've never seen. And with the selflessness of this team, Castle sitting in the fourth quarter, like, what a crazy turn of events to give that opportunity to that rookie who's been playing really well that game. And I mean, Dylan Harper looked gassed at the end of the game. That's probably why he missed 2 free throws. But hustle play, got the rebound, got it to Wimby, got 2 more free throws, made one. Then the game became a timeout free throw challenge.
right, and that worries me when it's a night where we're horrible from the line, so I would like to see us just kinda polish that up a little bit, and, I know they're NBA players, I know this is, something that they should be doing consistently, but man, just on a night where we're playing a team like the Raptors and we shoot 57% from the line, that's a game that can just slip through the cracks, and all of a sudden, we're looking at 3rd in the West, versus second in the
Right.
West, even though that's not really looking likely. Our the gap between us, Rockets, Nuggets, Timberwolves is substantial at this point.
Absolutely. 10.
Yes. 10. We got
10.
10 wins in a
10.
row. It's been 10 years since we've done that. And that's
10.
crazy. Since 2015, 2016. That's how long it's been since we've won 10 games in a row.
Well,
Absolutely
let's
bonkers.
keep it going. Let's keep this win train rolling. Let's keep Wimby happy, and let's see where this thing ends up. Because I mean, any given night you can get punched in the face by any one of our teams on offense or defense. And once I'm sure once there's more tape out on this team, people will try to figure us out. But right now, just keep it rolling. Just keep it rolling. Do you have anything else you want to get to?
Um, just a couple things I just wanted to glaze real quick. De'Aaron Fox, that floater in the fourth quarter, over the top of the
Oh yeah.
backboard.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Just
After getting fouled too, like no one's talking about that.
one of the more impressive floaters I've seen all season long. Just not only to avoid stepping out of bounds, the contact, like you were saying, and then boom, just over the backboard. Yeah, just 10 out
And
of
the
10.
and the angle from the hard cam, you're able to see like exactly where he shot it and stuff, and you're like, oh man. So like that was one of those things in the fourth quarter that okay, like we're moving, we're getting there. And sometimes in past games we would get to the hump and not really quite get over the hump. And today we just drove that thing right over that hump and didn't look past it. And that's a mature team. That is a team that is ready to win now.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't think that we're flying under the radar anymore. There's like most publications, a lot of podcasts and content creators I'm friends with, they are talking about the Spurs being in that, you know, they're talking about, okay, there's OKC, there's Boston, Tatum's coming back, we and then it's pretty much all right. Now we got to be talking about San Antonio. They're in
Yeah,
that like third, fourth team in the NBA where it's like they're legitimate contenders and there's
one
no way
thousand
that
percent.
you can avoid that.
Yeah, dude. Like we talked about last game. You don't want to play a playoff game in San Antonio during Fiesta, man, or off the heels of that place is going to be rocking. It's going to be just smelling like Bud Light and Modelo. It's going to be awesome to go to. So I'm ready for playoff basketball, and let's just like I said, let's see where this ends up. But I think we can probably get to I think we can still continue this streak a little bit for at least the time being. I mean, until I see something different. Like today, I thought, like I said, we're going to come in here and be critical, but dude, like that's a gutsy win.
Yes, gutsy comeback win. Yeah, Victor defensive nightmare even on a night where he's not performing well offensively, like the shots not falling, he's not as aggressive as we want him to be, but still like Devin stepping up, Dylan Harper stepping up. Like we have so many guys because we're such a deep basketball
Deep team.
team.
Yeah. Just
We,
so
we
deep. And in the games before these last two, we're up in like the 130s, 140s, and now we're down in the 110s or so, and we're still getting wins. Like that just goes to show you how good our defense is if we're still able to keep the other team from scoring more points than us when we've been averaging 130 points in the month of February. So that's been a really cool way to see what we've done.
Absolutely. And yeah, just to harp on your point a little bit more, like the types of ways that we've been winning. So much of February was get the ball in the lane, score with points in the paint, like finish around the basket. And if we score 60 plus points in the paint, we are
Right.
going to beat you. But then tonight, it's like we lose the points in the paint battle by 12, but then we shoot lights out for large chunks of the game that makes up for it. So like on nights we can be, relying on Devin Vassell and Julian Champagny to shoot us through chunks of the game. And then other nights we're just going to be points in the paint monsters and beat you that way. So
Yeah.
it's a mark of a team that is just going to be really, really hard to see in the postseason. And you're going to need to be a top offensive team, a top defensive team, and a deep team in order to hang with us, and that's
Yeah,
not that
absolutely.
that's not many people.
And Mitch Johnson is an intelligent human being. And I'm sure he's out there cooking up some crazy pop schemes too. And I mean, we have a great bench behind him. So I trust this team. I trust this organization. I think we're going to make a deep run. We just got to get to that point and make sure that everything is clicking on all cylinders when we walk into those playoffs.
Absolutely, my dude. Yeah. Was there anything else that you were seeing when we're talking about the Spurs Raptors game?
Nope, just some cool court and some cool jerseys, man.
Gosh, that court was so badass. Like just the old school Raptor logo with the purple flare on it. Just man, just as somebody that not only played at a high school with the purple, but when I played at UMHB, college and
Yeah.
purple colors there. It's just like, yeah, it's just all of it so cool when you have purple gears. So like I love the old school Raptors gears. Not a big fan of what they got going on now, to be brutally honest.
Yeah. Not the best, but all in
Yeah.
all, we beat Drake, so suck it, Drake.
Yep. Oh yeah, not even gonna mention that clown. But yeah, moving on, we got some more Spurs basketball tomorrow night. We will be going live after that game as well.
LIVE on this MIC.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Rob, since we played the Raptors, I know as a child and as an adult, you love dinosaurs. So I want you to blind rank these dinosaurs. Are you cool with that?
I am very cool with that.
Dinosaurs. Dude, dinosaurs are badass. Jurassic Park's like always on TV nowadays. So I'm watching that every chance I get for at least a couple stretches of time. So I'm excited for this one. But we're going to start with what we played tonight. We're going to start with the Raptors. Where are you going to put your Raptors in your blind rank?
I mean, Velociraptor, a top tier dinosaur, an absolute hunter, the speed, the ferocity, pack hunters, like just everything you want from an apex predator.
Sound
Um,
like Mel Kiper recruiting.
Absolutely. His draft stock is going through the roof over here. No, no, but I think I gotta put the Raptor at 2. I think I gotta put it at 2.
Raptor at 2 is a good one just because they hunt in packs. They have those sharp claws. Like they're actually more of the size. I think I saw that they're not the size in the movies, but they're more like the size of like a big dog or something like that. So like those little things could hurt you. So all right, Raptors at 2, Triceratops.
Okay, see, I'm somebody that thinks the Triceratops is overrated. Like
Okay.
I think if you have Triceratops as your favorite dinosaur, you're basic. I'm sorry, it's just basic. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and put it at
It's low T is what it is because it's a herbivore.
you know what? That's what it is. I'm gonna put it at 5.
5. I like it. Stegosaurus.
Ooh, see, Stegosaurus, like strong defender. Like honestly, bringing that
Like a
Wembanyama
Luke
type
Cornett type dinosaur.
right. Okay. A Stegosaurus. I got respect for the Stegosaurus, but I think I'm gonna go 3.
All right, so you got Raptors at 2, Triceratops at 5, Stegosaurus at 3. So that leaves you with 1 and 4. And your next one is a pterodactyl.
Okay, see, I'm a big pterodactyl fan, so I think I'm gonna go pterodactyl at 1. I think
Nice.
anything that is flying at that time is fucking badass, just swooping down on stuff like just thinking about birds that big, like you think about like condors and harpy eagles and
Yeah.
just like some of the biggest birds on planet Earth now, but like this would just make those look like little tiny insects flying in the sky, just how big it is. But yeah, pterodactyl number 1.
All right, number 1. So that leaves you with number 4, which is your T-Rex.
See, I knew T-Rex was gonna be on
Had to be
here,
on there.
and I also think T-Rex is a little overrated just because so many people love T-Rex, and he's got the little baby arms, and he's just little trying to do some stuff, but
Like, Dad, it's impossible for you to be a dinosaur.
right. But then I was gonna come back to it. Uh, yeah, but
Dad, you just can't be a dinosaur. It's not
that's
true.
that's just great. Such a great scene.
Dude,
But
that do you know that scene's improv?
yes, yes,
That's it's insane that the behind the stories that they tell, that scene is so funny.
dude, so like honestly, such great directing style just to let them go with it and riff in the moment and just realize you have just funny, talented people and just let them just
Yeah.
roll the camera, let them do their thing.
Speaking of, I have to say this just real quick. Rainn Wilson had Bryan Cranston on his podcast, and they started the podcast doing a scene. And buddy, the I guess the way that the actor mind thinks is one of the most unique things I've ever witnessed in this 5-minute video that I've seen online. It's literally Rainn Wilson and Bryan Cranston. It's 3 lines. They give them a scenario. They're like, action. And they just have to do it. And Bryan Cranston is one of the greatest actors I've ever seen. And he proved it in that like 5-minute clip because it's so good. And then he tells you, like, when they say cut, is when he tells you, well, this is his backstory, and this is what I was thinking, and this is where he's from. And you're like, dude, it's been 2 minutes. How did you come up with his entire life in those 2 minutes? So yeah, I don't know how we got on that tangent, but you should watch that video.
Oh yeah. Well, I know that he's method, so he puts himself into positions that like give him like a sense of like realism. So like he's going to create that backstory for that person because that's what he clings on to like draw those tears or to
Yeah.
like make that, face make that like tension
Your Honor is a great show
visibly.
too.
Yeah.
Your
I
Honors are fantastic.
I need to see that. I've
If
seen some episodes, but yeah.
if you like organized crime and the law, it's awesome. And
Absolutely,
you like
my
New
dude.
Orleans too. It's based in New Orleans, so it's a fun little background for a cool little show like that. But anyway, but yeah, man, good blind ranking.
Absolutely, dude. I always appreciate a good blind ranking. But yes, I always appreciate it even more after a delicious Spurs victory. And I I also feel like we got some dunks to get to.
Yeah, man. Let me go ahead and can I get started?
Yes, please do.
I'm gonna dunk on Gilbert Arenas, dude. Just shut up. Just stop. We're done. We're done. We have nothing to talk about anymore. You don't see the game the way it's played in 2026. You got out of one playoff series and then you got swept the next round. Like I don't know what else I can tell you besides you're just wrong when you analyze the Spurs. If you don't like the Spurs, you don't like the Spurs. That's fine. Like you don't have to like just shit on everything we do, but you got to recognize that just because we don't have someone that is your number one option, even though we do, it's always going to be Wemby. It's going to be Wemby all the time. Sometimes he has it going, sometimes he doesn't. So the one thing that we do well is that on the defensive side. So Gilbert Arenas just doesn't know what he's talking about. And I know he's trying to get clicks and all that controversy and stuff, but hearing him try to debate why our team won't go deep is probably one of the silliest things I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense because it's an argument that kind of just fights into itself because he's like, "Oh yeah, they don't have a clear number one option. They're just so talented all across the board and they're so deep. They just have so many guys that can come in and score." And it's like
And
y-
he's like, "Oh, I
you're
thought."
you're 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 describing a nice, well-balanced team that
Right.
can withstand an injury or two because they have guys that can come in and step up and they know their role. It's like it seems
And he's
like
like, "I thought Wimby's numbers would be a lot higher." And it's like, he's in year 3, dog. Like, he's averaging almost 2.5, 3 blocks a game. He's
and
had
you're
11 blocks in the past 2 games. Like, that's insane. And like I said earlier, you have to account for him all the time.
yes. And he's paying attention to the wrong numbers because he's probably just saying the points and the rebounds and the
Right,
blocks.
exactly.
It's like, but he's not looking at the defensive rating. He's not looking at the 3-point efficiency or true shooting.
Right.
He's not looking at these things because Wemby is a more efficient basketball player than he was last season, period.
1000%.
Yes,
1000%. So, and I
absolutely.
think we would have seen something similar to this last year if he wouldn't have gotten hurt after the All-Star game. So, I think moving forward, this is kind of what we can expect. But yeah, man, dunk on Gilbert Arenas. That son of a bitch. Who you gonna dunk
Yeah.
on, Rob?
I got a little soft dunk on Matt Bonner.
Oh, Red
I
Rocket.
I'm gonna dunk on Matt Bonner because he let it slip tonight. He let it slip tonight. He said "our" when referencing the Raptors. He
Mm.
said "our defense,"
Oof.
and it hurt me.
Yeah.
It cut me to the core, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, when we're talking about Spurs versus Raptors, the Raptors are the our, like your allegiance aligns with the Raptors when we're
This is
talking
the FanDuel network. How dare you?
I know. I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna dunk on Matt Bonner tonight. 10 years in the silver and black, 2 years as a Raptor. I know your commentary allegiance. I know where that lies, but still, it I thought it
Yeah,
was
come on,
at
man. Be
least
cool.
yeah, I thought it was at least a coin flip to where you're calling both teams our or maybe neither for this kind of occasion, but it just seemed like I don't know. It felt like I just felt like something I was ready to be petty about.
Well, he has red hair.
Well, he's got a red head, and it was so funny because it all led into a moment where they were arguing about like putting ketchup on breakfast tacos
Yeah. Oh man.
and cheesesteaks and steak and cheese, and it's like we didn't even hear the coach's challenge. They were arguing about shit for so long, and so I was just like,
And then
dude,
Matt Bonner's gaslighting Sean the whole time. Like, hey, Sean, how do you feel about that?
yeah, fucking hilarious. So I'm gonna dunk on Matt Bonner a little bit for being a little bit of a nuisance tonight. No, I'm just
Dude,
kidding. He was fun. I love Matt.
yeah, man. It's always fun to get the old band back together, some of the old guys, and especially with Matt Bonner, because like the way he was gaslighting Sean was just so funny. Just anything like very like whenever they brought up the plus minus, and he was like, Sean, how you feel about plus minus? And he's like, it's the stupidest stat in the entire NBA.
Just lobbed it for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super funny.
Hilarious. But yes, those are some good dunks, my friend. If you are still here after those dunks, after the Spurs Raptors breakdown, after that fun to blind ranking, and we went into a little bit of playoff outlook, a very loose playoff outlook as the season winds down. Obviously, we will be doing a more deep dive into the playoff outlook and what that means for San Antonio because obviously we will
Yep.
be playing playoff basketball. But that being said, thank you guys for being here tonight. It was a wonderful win, Spurs over the Raptors, but we would be here even if it was a loss because we love being here talking Spurs hoops, especially after 10 wins in a row. But guys, you guys make this community. You guys being here makes this podcast what it is. The Baseline Bums podcast would not be the same without you. We not only love you, but we love you hard over here.
Hard.
All of this is brought to you by Love You Hard TV and the wonderful people over at the In the Building podcast. Mike, Rudy, Jose. Make sure you're following In the Building as well as Baseline Bums. But guys, yeah, we got a lot of fun, exciting Spurs basketball on the way. We will be coming at you live tomorrow after the
Yep.
Brooklyn game. So make
Brooklyn,
sure
Brooklyn.
Yep. Make sure you follow, subscribe, all the above, whether you're following the lives on YouTube, whether you're following us on TikTok, Instagram, the audio on Apple Podcast, join the Discord so we can have some behind the scenes Spurs conversations, all
Yep.
the above. But We appreciate you for being a part of the community wherever, however you are being a bum. We appreciate it.
Boom.
But that being said, we're gonna hop off here and end this episode the same way we end all episodes, and that's with a go
Go
Spurs
Spurs.
a go.
Go. Bring back the silver dance.